In today's video, we're talking about new jump rope skills and the method on how to go about learning them. I'm going to show you the method that I've used for all of my jump rope skills so you can have a better idea on how to tackle these things. Grab your rope and let's do this. So for the purposes of this video, I am currently learning the side open or southpaw skill as well as the EB with and without the jump. I'm going to show you kind of where I'm at when I've started doing these. I've tried them very limitedly in the past and I've totally sucked at them, so I've wanted to create more fluidity with these skills so I can totally just add them into my freestyles or workouts on the fly without even thinking about it. But this is the beginning stages, so you know that even people with 10 plus years jump rope experience don't just grab these things and pick them up immediately. Everything's different. Different skills come at different paces, but I'm still kind of struggling with these. It's getting better. So for starters, let's take a look at the side open or southpaw skill. So what we have here is my first practice session with the southpaw or side open skill. Let's take a look at how this is going. Let's kind of walk through some of the thought process that I have as I'm struggling at times. So one of the big issues that I was running into right on the outset was one of my favorite skills that I incorporate the most in all of my jump sessions is a double side swing. And so it's just the same as the beginning of this side open skill. And so my muscle memory kept reverting right into the double side swing versus going into the side open, and which just became frustrating. And so it was just becoming a repetition of working at it, making sure that I was just kind of repeating in my mind, side open, to make sure that I would get past that the muscle memory of the double side swing. When I first started doing this, I would just move my hand from the good jump rope form position straight to my shoulder and then back. And it was just kind of doing this straight line, but it was causing the rope to twist on itself, causing a lot of trip ups. So this is my first session with it. Let's take a look at the next session. So here is my second or third session practicing the southpaw or side open. And as you can see immediately, it's starting to flow a little bit better, even just after a little bit. Like my first session was probably only 15 to 20 minutes. That's what I kind of like to keep my practice sessions at when I'm practicing skills, because I just don't get overwhelmed, exhausted, because I don't want to start practicing bad form. So I'm still having a little bit of tangle up issues, but I did come across a tip, I think it was on Instagram, that as you bring up the hand to the shoulder, instead of just going straight up and straight backwards, the tip was to curl the hand away from the body. So I kind of thought of it as an upside down J. So you'd curl the hand away from the body, which helps keep the rope from that hand away from the other side, and it helps eliminate the tangles. So if you're going to try to practice this particular skill, remember that, to curl the hand as it comes up away from the body, and that's going to help you. So as you can see, I'm starting to get the technique down a little bit better. So from that point, it's just going to be more repetition and ingraining the good habits and trying to get away from getting that rope tangled up. So let's move into the second skill that I've been learning, which is the EB with the jump and without the jump. First up is without the jump. And so as you can see, I'm really rotating my body from side to side, which is I'm trying to get clearance from that reach around from behind my back to make sure it gets past my shoulders due to the width of my shoulders and lats, but I'm just doing more excessive movement than's really necessary. I just needed to practice working on the flexibility of getting that arm reached all the way around my back so I could get the rope clearance past the shoulder. I also had trouble with getting the hand all the way in the right position. Sometimes I wouldn't turn the rope over in my hand to get it around, which I'll show you in a clip later. But as you can see, I was really struggling with this one. It wasn't flowing very good. I had a lot of work to do at this point. Here's where my hand doesn't turn over. See, I I didn't turn it over, so I'm getting myself, showing myself, get that hand, reach it back behind yourself with the handle pointed towards the wall. It's just sloppy. It's where you start. This is where you start. This is real. You have to feel what it's not supposed to feel like before you're going to feel what it is supposed to feel like. So it's kind of a puzzle. You're trying to figure out, okay, this doesn't work. This works better. I'm getting too much side swing on the rope. I'm starting to feel a little bit better about it right there just from the repetition and just playing with some of the hand motions, probably slowing it up at a different pace or being a little bit more aggressive with some of the movements, because if you're too timid when you're doing these cross things, it just isn't going to work out as good. Here was back to some more Southpaw, just trying to practice that. But let's move into the second or third practice session with the EB stuff. All right, here's another new session, second or third session with the EB without the jump. And as you can see, I'm starting to get the reach around a lot better. It's starting to flow. I'm still getting a lot of turn, but that's fine. I mean, it can kind of just be a style thing later on. But I'm still just running into issues with getting it past the shoulder. And here's with the jump. So that was one of the first times I'd ever gotten like 2 EBs with the jump back to back. That can just be challenging to keep a good loop opening up when you're going from one right into the other, because the slightest goof up in the technique is going to leave the rope probably coming at a little bit of a side swing, more wrapping around your body, and it's just not going to clear your feet then. See, I clipped my foot. That's just going to throw me off from the get-go. And there, I snapped my hand really good.
All right, so what I want to do here is just show you kind of where I'm at currently with the Southpaw side open skill and the EB with and without the jump. First off, let's go with the side open or Southpaw skill. This is just kind of where I'm currently at. Today has not been going very smoothly when I'm trying to do this. It just goes to show that sometimes we just have bad days. And if you're having one of those kind of bad days when you're practicing skills, you might just want to stick to your basics, get your workout in, and then pick it up the next day, because there's no point in just building your frustration, which is right about where I am right now, to be honest. All right, let's do this. So when I'm keeping it at a reasonable, slow pace, as far as how it feels to me, I do pretty good, but I'm still running into this tangle up on itself. The rope is tangling up on itself occasionally. I don't know if it's form breakdown in some way. I'm not really able to figure that out today, but as you can see, I am able to keep it going. Oh, that just tangled there. So I'm running into those things. It's better than it was, but I still have a lot of work to do. And I've had days where this has been flowing pretty darn well. And I've even been able to work up to some doubles with it. The thing is, the rope still feels a bit sporadic as it's coming over the top. It just doesn't feel like it's staying consistent in a nice motion on each side. And then when I'm opening it up, it just feels like it's kind of wobbling all over the place. So from there, really, I got the technique down. Now I'm just going to be working on the repetition over and over again, still further grooving that motion of that upside down J, and just staying more consistent in the form and technique. And then with more repetition, ingraining that muscle memory, it's just going to get better and better over time. All right, now let's take a look at the EB without the jump. So if you remember when you saw some of my other videos, I was really kind of rotating, and I can do that with for a little bit more style. But when I originally started doing that, it was to I felt like my flexibility wasn't getting that reach very well. So I was using that to kind of help get myself turned, get my shoulders out of the way. But now I just kind of use that for like if I'm going to the beat of the song. But, ouch. But my timing with the bringing the arm back across and not getting it twisted is getting a lot better. So I'm starting to get a lot more fluid with that. My reach, my flexibility around my back, reaching around my back is getting a lot better because I don't have to turn as much. I'm still got the errors. That's okay. It's gonna happen. But this one's coming along a lot better. I feel then the Southpaw skill, or side under, side open. Whatever they're calling it these days. Now the EB with the jump. So as you can see, that one has gotten tremendously better from the beginning. And I owe that a lot to the fact that I've practiced and gotten much better at the alternating EB without the jump, because it's just gotten me used to that alternating rhythm of this, because there's a lot more movement to this. So then when suddenly you don't have to move and you're just gonna get that jump in, it actually becomes a little bit slower paced feel than without the jump, because you're letting it come through before you alternate. So, but the big thing there has just been making sure I get that arm around the back again and making sure I'm getting a good loop to jump through. So now I'm gonna give you an example of me just trying to flow into a freestyle, incorporating some of these skills, and let's see how that goes. It's not perfect, but it's coming along. So from at this point, there's plenty of work to still be done. It's starting to come together. I'm starting to feel the good repetitions versus the bad ones. I'm making the identifications of what's going wrong, and it's just gonna come down to repetition. Now that you kind of know what you're looking for, what the feel you're trying to get, just keep on practicing. It doesn't have to be for hours on end. I spend roughly 15 to 20 minutes pre or post workout where I just dedicate focused time to these skills on just running through them, repeating them as many times as I can during that period. And that's all I need in order to start ingraining that muscle memory, creating those habits of the grooves of the hand movement, and you're going to see improvement over time. If you are just struggling with the basics, be sure to check out my Start Here playlist I have linked right over here. It covers all the basics of jump rope, so these are the things that you need to focus on right now in order to get better with jump rope. If you're looking for new footwork, check out the footwork series where I'm breaking down different footwork patterns so you can start having more fun with your workouts, because that's how you stay fit for a long period of time. I will see you in the next video.